Knowledge is the most powerful tool that humans possess. It shapes civilizations, fuels progress, and empowers individuals to overcome challenges. Without knowledge, we are like ships lost at sea, unable to navigate our way to success. In every era, thinkers and philosophers have emphasized the immense power of wisdom and learning. As Francis Bacon once said, "Knowledge is power." This simple yet profound statement has guided humanity for centuries. The more we learn, the more control we have over our lives and the world around us. Knowledge is what separates the wise from the ignorant, the strong from the weak. Today, let's explore the wisdom of great minds on the topic of knowledge. Their words will inspire you to seek wisdom, embrace learning, and understand why knowledge truly is power. Knowledge is power, but wisdom is knowing how to use it for the greater good. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance, for wisdom leads to virtue. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance, for only then can wisdom begin to grow. A wise man seeks knowledge, but a fool despises instruction and remains blind to the truth. To be ignorant of the past is to remain forever a child, for history is the teacher of wisdom. An educated mind is capable of entertaining a thought without accepting it blindly. It is not the knowledge that makes one wise, but the proper application of it in life's affairs. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. Wisdom begins in wonder, for only those who question the world can unlock the truth hidden beneath appearances. Learning never exhausts the mind, for true knowledge only deepens one's understanding of the universe. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I do not know and must continue seeking wisdom. Knowledge is the light that guides men through the darkness of ignorance and leads them to wisdom. To know oneself is the beginning of all wisdom, for the greatest knowledge lies within. A scholar who cherishes knowledge but does not practice, it is like a tree that bears no fruit. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened beyond ordinary understanding. Ignorance is the root of all evil. Wisdom is the only cure for the blindness of the mind. The wise man does not boast of his knowledge, for true wisdom speaks through action, not mere words. To study without reflection is a waste. To reflect without study is dangerous to wisdom. A room without books is like a body without a soul, empty of wisdom and meaning. Knowledge should be pursued, not for power alone, but to guide humanity towards righteousness and justice. Education is not the filling of a vessel, but the kindling of a flame that burns eternally. The wise man learns more from fools than fools learn from the wise. True knowledge comes not from books alone, but from experience and the careful observation of life. A mind without knowledge is like a warrior without a sword, defenseless in the face of adversity. Wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to be silent, for silence can teach more than words. To seek knowledge is to arm the soul, for ignorance is the true enemy of human progress. Learning without application is like a tree without roots, unable to grow strong and bear fruit. He who increases knowledge increases sorrow, for wisdom often reveals the burdens of the world. A wise man seeks knowledge in everything, for wisdom is the greatest wealth one can possess. The pursuit of knowledge must be endless, for the mind that ceases to learn begins to wither. He who seeks wisdom at all times will never be lost, for knowledge is the guide to righteous living. Philosophy begins in wonder, for only those who question the world can unlock the doors to true understanding. To read without thinking is like eating without digesting. Knowledge must be absorbed, not just consumed. A ruler who lacks wisdom will lead his people into ruin, for ignorance in power is the greatest danger. To learn is to live many lives, for knowledge grants us experiences beyond our own existence. A man who conquers his ignorance is greater than one who conquers 1,000 enemies in battle. True power lies not in wealth or armies, but in the wisdom to guide people towards justice and harmony. He who does not seek knowledge is no better than a beast, for wisdom elevates man above mere existence. The wise man prepares for tomorrow by learning today, for knowledge is the seed from which a great future grows. Wisdom is the foundation of all virtues, for without understanding, even the noblest heart will stumble into error. Knowledge is not to be hoarded but shared, for wisdom only grows when it is given freely. He who asks a question remains a fool for a moment. He who does not ask remains a fool forever. A society that values knowledge above wealth will always prosper, for wisdom is the source of true abundance. No man is free who is not master of his own mind, for ignorance is the greatest chain of all. The journey of wisdom begins with doubt, for questioning the world leads to the discovery of truth. The purpose of knowledge is not to boast, but to illuminate the path for others in darkness. Books are silent teachers, whispering the wisdom of the past to those who seek knowledge in the present. A man who thirsts for knowledge will never be poor, for wisdom is the greatest treasure of all. The pursuit of wisdom is the highest calling, for all other virtues flow from knowledge and understanding. He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a fool who surrounds himself with ignorance remains blind. To open the mind to wisdom, one must first close the heart to arrogance and pride. Wisdom does not come from age, but from the willingness to learn and reflect on life. A student who stops learning is like a river that stops flowing. It will soon become stagnant and lifeless. The fool believes he knows everything, but the wise man knows he still has much to learn. Knowledge is the seed, practice is the water. Together they grow the tree of wisdom and understanding. A kingdom ruled by the ignorant is doomed, but a nation guided by wisdom will thrive for generations. A single word of wisdom outweighs 1,000 empty speeches, for truth has greater power than mere sound. A wise ruler educates his people, for ignorance among citizens is the downfall of any nation. He who possesses wisdom holds true power, for knowledge can shape the world more than swords ever could. Wisdom grows when shared, for knowledge hoarded is like a candle hidden in a box, giving light to no one. One cannot claim wisdom without action, for true understanding is proven by deeds, not words. To learn is to add knowledge, to reflect is to deepen wisdom, to teach is to share enlightenment. A wise man fears ignorance more than hardship, for lack of knowledge is the true source of suffering. Books hold the voices of the past, whispering secrets of wisdom to those who seek understanding. Time spent in learning is never wasted, for knowledge gained today will shape the successes of tomorrow. The universe speaks through wisdom, and only those who listen carefully will hear its lessons. The wise do not seek fame, but seek understanding, for true glory lies in the pursuit of knowledge. A master of knowledge is not the one who knows most, but the one who applies wisdom best. He who walks the path of wisdom will never be lost, for knowledge lights even the darkest roads. A mind filled with wisdom is a fortress stronger than stone, for knowledge protects more than walls ever could. Knowledge is the only wealth that cannot be stolen, for it belongs solely to the mind that possesses it. A wise man seeks truth beyond appearances, for true knowledge lies beneath the surface of mere perception. The mind is a fire to be kindled, not a vessel to be filled, for wisdom grows through exploration. Wisdom is not granted at birth, but forged through experience, struggle, and the pursuit of truth. To understand the world, one must first understand oneself, for true knowledge begins with self-awareness. A scholar who does not practice wisdom is like a torch that refuses to shine in darkness. True wisdom is silent strength, for the loudest voices often carry the least understanding. He who desires wisdom must be ready to unlearn, for false knowledge is the greatest obstacle to truth. The more a man learns, the more he realizes his ignorance, for wisdom humbles the enlightened mind. A wise ruler leads with knowledge, not fear, for wisdom commands loyalty while fear breeds resentment. Knowledge is more than just information. It is the key to transformation. The greatest thinkers of history have shown us that learning empowers us to achieve greatness. Without knowledge, we remain trapped in ignorance, unable to shape our own destinies. So let today be the day you embrace lifelong learning. Read, question, explore, and never stop seeking wisdom. Every piece of knowledge you acquire brings you closer to a better version of yourself. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Wisdom Vault. Share your thoughts in the comments. What is the most powerful lesson you've learned? Let's grow wiser together.